3. Today's program is going to be informative, it's going to be educative. All you need to do is to sit back, fasten your seatbelt as you follow us from now till 11 a.m. Assessing performance appraisal. Assessing performance appraisal. It is known that the backbone of any democratic government is the National Assembly, which its vital responsibility are lawmaking, oversight, and representation. What agenda has members of the 9th National Assembly be pushing in their various constituency and the country in general? Has it been of enough impact on the lives and living condition of the citizens of Nigeria? Joining us once again on Hello Miss today is our guest. He is no other than Right Honorable Satomi Ahmed, a lawmaker representing the good people of Jere Federal Constituency of Borno State, northeast of Nigeria. Sir, we want to welcome you into today's program.
Thank you very much.
Assembly, if you're to assess it, how will your assessment be?
The 9th National Assembly, led by Right Honorable Abdul Hakim Femi Bajak Biamila, you know him as one of a reputable legislator par excellence because of the track records. When the struggle or the quest for him to emerge as the Speaker of the 9th Assembly, after you're all aware that he contested for the same position at the 8th Assembly, he lost. But we make sure he emerges, not because of his geographical affiliation or quality, but the experience for us to have somebody that have been close to 2 decade experience in the parliament and a legal luminary per se, practice both within and outside the country. And the 9th Assembly is one of the best National Assembly Nigeria ever have.
On what perimeters are you assessing it as the best now?
The relationship, the cordial relationship between the legislative and the executive, and the achievement that the first assemblist fails to achieve, particularly the petroleum industry bill. They were struggling for 20 years. 9th Assembly has achieved it already. And by next year, the new government of Asuaju, inshallah, the same APC, you will see the protection of the petroleum industry bill. The sector will be fully deregulated, and then from there, Nigerians will feel the impact of the cost saving from the, let me say, the untold waste of wastages that is happening, and then by giving a clear cut for the industry to perform its all by providing them the requisite laws, acts, and friendly business environment for investors to come. So therefore, even the petroleum industrial bill alone is something that Nigerians has to give the 9th National Assembly a first mark. In democratic dispensation, definitely there are oppositions that whatever you will do, they will not look at it in the angle or the manner that we are expecting them or Nigerians to see. But looking at, if you call the 9th Assembly as a rubber stamp, go back to the 8th Assembly that struggle always on the loggerheads with the executives. What do they achieve? They just wasted the 4 years without achieving. But today, look at the 9th Assembly, the cordial relationship at least has yielded some protections to our citizens. Even the Nigerian army in terms of budget funding, in terms of providing the necessary requirements to fight the terrorism. Today, you cannot say that the 9th Assembly, with its support to the executive, the security situation before compared to where we are today has not improved. Definitely there are challenges in one way or the other because of the dynamics, the tactics of the terrorists to change. But the military are fairly equipped, averagely considered in terms of budget passing, timely passage of the budget, one of the achievements of the 9th Assembly. The independence of the industry as a company to operate without interference. The provision of an enabling environment for investors to know that their investments are safe. Another major opportunity given to them is to look at the fairness, equity, justice in terms of wealth sharing, particularly considering the frontier basin exploration that is being included in the 2020 Petroleum Industrial Act. But above all, given the independence, be it a company on its own, so that NNPC will practice in line with the best standard practice of the global oil industry. There is no way an industry where investors' money is there, huge. Today, look at the refineries. Look at the ways of getting license. Look at the manner we are exporting our crude. Look at the vandalization, the corruption and the rotting system in the industry. But given the Petroleum Act, everything is clear. Investors will have the opportunity to express and to practice their businesses in line with the global standard.
Of what effect would this be to common man in the street?
Number one, availability of the material. Then improvement in terms of the yield by allowing them to operate within the ambit of the law. What I want to put here is that if you give an investor an opportunity to invest, definitely you must give him a way to protect his investment so that he's doing it for a profit purpose. And then, for instance, by next year, I'm sure the industry will be fully deregulated, which means the government, looking at the budget, will save nothing less than 5 or 6 trillion naira in our budget. This money will be diverted into other sectors of development, national development, particularly security, the improvement of our economy, livelihood of the common man, inject the money into agriculture and other form of economic growth, such as other sectors like mining and the mineral resources in the country. So this one will affect the poor man directly. Why I say it so is that these monies will be utilized directly to other sectors, particularly of our national development, so that our GDP will increase, our economy will improve. Definitely all such factors being taken into consideration, the poor man has a liberty to enjoy what in his country.
Made mention of so many successes recorded by Night Assembly. We want to also know what are some of the biggest weaknesses of this great Night Assembly that you can measure or identify or enumerate for us.
Is number one, and I stand and I
Want to be correct?
the lack of commitment and patriotism to put Nigeria first of some of our colleagues. Some do consider Nigeria still from the region they are coming from, looking at it from ethnicity, geography. But to me, we're supposed to look, first agenda is Nigeria. But I'm very much sure. Another thing is the opposition itself. Some wants to politicize certain issues. There are issues, even in the legislation process, that are not meant to be politicized. But they look at it at a political angle.
What are some of these issues that are not meant to be politicized?
Issues that has to do lives and the protection of lives and property, issues that has to do with the interests of the common man, particularly in, like education, health. These are critical tools that we're supposed to stand firm to ensure timely solution for whatever problem that arose. But things turns the other way definitely because of certain factors, certain issues, and then at times it's not an issue. You know, the committees you're given the job, you know, the executives, which we don't have the power. Despite we know we have the power to oversight and then to checkmate them. But they will find their ways too to manipulate so that at times they delay or even to kill the good things or the projects that are yet designed for Nigerians to benefit. So these are the major challenges.
From this lack of commitment and of what advantage or benefit to Nigerians in general?
To me, there is differences. And then another thing is that's why we are in democracy. If you fail to perform and your people consider you that you are not worth to be a honorable member if you didn't put Nigeria, that's why the 4 years, the beauty of democracy. So some will lose election, and you have seen definitely many lost even during the primaries. It's not going to augur well for us. We consider Nigeria as a larger society to amend the Electoral Act.
Very important. And I feel
we have
speaking volume.
majority of us feel the impact. More than 50% of our colleagues lost their seats due to the Electoral Act. So definitely the Electoral Act, that's one of the credit of the National Assembly.
I can say kudos to that.
And then even is not working good for us, but we showed that patriotism under the able leadership of the Abdul Hakim Bajak Biamila. That's the essence of a leadership, a quality leadership. We provided the enabling environment for the people. We even fought, if you could remember, those of you that are following our program, to make sure that the primaries goes option 1, option A4, where masses will decide, not few delegates. And Mr. President, which is quality of leadership, of firmness in terms of adhere to rules at times, he makes sure that we followed the right. And this is where we are today. Look at it. With the relationship, we have achieved the Petroleum Industrial Act. We have achieved the amendment of the Electoral Act. We have achieved the budget cycle to make sure because of the loggerhead interests, personal interests, sentiment interests, the budget will not be approved until almost half of the year gone. So therefore, this pattern for every team has their own ways to achieve into success. What matters to us is that at least you cannot say we failed. You must give credit to the 9th Assembly.
Till this morning, when I came on the dailies and I found a paper carrying this particular headline, Senate threatens zero budgets for Villa, Army, Navy, Air Force, Police, INEC, and 94 others. Now, while I went through the story, I was feeling maybe we could ask you what will be your reaction, because with what you're saying, we wish that the military has the best of welfare. But here we're having Senate threatening to slash their budget. What will you say to that?
But definitely, if you see such statements coming from the National Assembly, maybe there is, if you ask me directly, zero budget for, I was keenly waiting for you. If you say zero budget for the National Assembly, the Villa, I will say just approve it.
Just Army and Navy.
But when I heard Army and Navy, so definitely maybe there is an issue of oversight, or money earmarked last year appropriated is being either diverted, or that's the paradigm of life going on in Nigeria, which is very unfortunate. At times you will see money budgeted for certain project is being diverted. But
what has the National Assembly done on this? Because
that's why there is ICPC and EFCC, and they are up to the task. They are tracing. Gradually, we will reach the stages that all projects will be tracked instead of the PGI numbers, maybe with a tracking code to Nigerians that they will follow. That each and every one of us knows what are budgeted to respective projects and communities. So I don't know much about, but I'm sure there is just an ambiguous statement. Actually, when I was discussing with you earlier on, I made mention that we made a law that we dislike. I feel it. We have the opportunity and liberty to make a law that will be of our own benefit, particularly during the primary election. But with this law, more than about 70%, because over 200 out of the 360 lost their incumbent primary school ticket. Among some, due to they don't have a relationship with their governor, they took the new concept of election or the new Electoral Act, and then they deal with them. Sorry for saying, in court Nigerian politics. And then some, they were tired. But to me, I'm very much sad when I realize that a good legislators, very fine legislators, lost the primaries. They will not going to be part of the 10th assemblies. And during the quest of this process, I understand that you need experienced people to guide the younger ones. That's why I was told in other developed countries, there are permanent seats for some certain legislators that, three-timers, third-timers, fourth-timers, they are permanent there. And it's very, very important. Why? Because they are like professors in the university. they know the law better, they have the experience which you cannot get it in the market. So if we are recycling it, it's like Nigerian military say, if I reach the pick up a general and then I remove a general, you know. So it's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate, definitely, and it's not good for our system. If the next assembly will look at such and review it, definitely it's gonna be very good for Nigerians. Not for the sake of representing a community, no, for the sake of representing Nigeria, because he or she is a member of the National Assembly, and at times you need such experienced people to represent you in a country level, in a continent level at times if needs be, and then you need experienced people. So I miss a lot. I don't want to mention names. There are good legislators regardless to opposition parties. They are very good, very fine. At times, if I go for a sitting without them, I did not enjoy it because I learn much from them. They talk from experience. They know the laws. Sometimes even the speaker denied them of talking. They know their ways to come on floor, and they will have the floor. Smart ways. They will cut one, section. They will cut one order, and then from that order, they will just branch to what they want to pass to Mr. Speaker, and then he has no option. We have, the general sittings or the House has, noticed something is good somewhere. So therefore, actually, it's not a good system. The best way is we must to look at it maybe in the 10th Assembly for a way that once you have that experience, maybe you will have a permanent seat, or even another person will come. You have the liberty to come and sit and even write on board.
A mentor.
Mentor.
Thank you.